Hey, what's going on? So listen, science shows that there's something magical about love and commitment. Research continues to prove over and over again that people who are in committed and loving and caring relationships have greater health, greater wealth, they live longer, they get sick less instances of depression, anxiety. So there's something magical about love, but the question becomes, what does it actually look like? Well, in this video, I want to talk about the science of love and what researchers have found are the key components to a relationship that is thriving, fulfilling, and goes the distance. That's what we're going to talk about today on Relation Shots. Hey, welcome to Relation Shots. My name is Eric Wooten. If this is your first time hanging out, welcome to the place to get practical relationship advice that actually works in your relationship. You want a free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below. Listen, I'm convinced that couples struggle in their relationship for two main reasons: a lack of intentionality and a lack of community. You're not doing stuff regularly, you're not doing the right stuff regularly, and you don't have the accountability and support that you need to pull these things off. That's why we created the marriage membership community. You to have a place where you can get resources, we can compete in challenges, we can get support and encouragement for other couples, where even if your spouse doesn't want to work on the relationship, you can surround yourself with some men or women who can encourage you in your relationship journey. You'll see all kinds of info on that as well. We'd love to walk with you in your relationship journey. So let's talk about the science of love. I'm not going to bore you with all the research and the statistics and the graphs and the hypothesis and the findings. Just know relationships have been studied in depth for a long time by a lot of people that are way smarter than me and way smarter than you. And what they found is there is a science to this thing called love, and there's certain components that create happy, lasting, fulfilling relationships. And the absence of these things are what going to get couples into trouble, cause couples to struggle, and ultimately give up on their relationship. So all I want to do in this video is give you three components that research and science has shown are key to love and a committed relationship. Number one's a concept called physiological calm. Don't bore yourself with the physiological part, just think calm. Couples who are calm in their relationship and have the ability to monitor and manage their emotions are couples that succeed when it comes to conflict and communication and problem resolving and different struggles and managing our differences. If you can remain calm, things go a lot better. These are couples that are gentle, not hostile towards one another. These are couples that nurture one another. These are couples that reassure one another, that listen to one another. And what that requires is a number of positive interactions in the relationship so that when they get to a point of conflict, their emotions aren't heightened. When couples can stay calm, they can listen better, they can seek to understand, they can be empathetic, they can do a lot of things in relationship that without calm, you won't be able to do. If your emotions are heightened, if you feel flooded, you will tend to be defensive and you will tend to attack, and neither one of those things are conducive to a healthy relationship. So this idea of how do we remain calm, how do we create an atmosphere that is safe and calm, most of that hinges on the 5-to-1 positive to negative ratio that researchers and psychologists have found to be key in creating an environment for couples to thrive. The second idea, the second component that you need for the science of love is trust. Now, obviously, that seems just basic, but couples where trust is built are couples who stay connected and who feel connected. Now, remember, trust requires communication. You need to have open and honest communication in order to develop a relationship of trust. If you don't have that, you're going to be having a hard time trusting in a relationship, and you're going to have a hard time believing the best with a lack of information. Where there's not communication, what we tend to do is we tend to create our own narrative and fill in the gaps of information with whatever story or narrative we're running through our head, and it is almost always assuming the worst, not assuming the best. Trust builds loyalty in a relationship. Betrayal will lead to loneliness, and loneliness tends to be the main reason that people step outside the relationship. So we need to create and cultivate trust. That requires regular and intentional and open and honest communication in the relationship. And the third thing is commitment. Now, again, that seems obvious, but commitment's about nurturing the relationship. It's about cherishing your partner. It's about you telling yourself with that dialogue in your head how lucky you are to be with your partner, telling yourself how much you love them, how great they are, how much you like them, how much you want to spend time with them, instead of letting the negative highlight reel run about what they don't do and how you could be better off with somebody else, and let comparison begin to slip in. Commitment's all about nurturing and cherishing the relationship that you have. And when you do that, it strengthens the relationship. The opposite of doing that is going to lead to disillusionment, which ultimately at some point will make your commitment to the relationship wane, because you think to yourself, I deserve better, I could do better, this isn't fair, I'm not getting the things that I need in the relationship. So nourishing and cherishing your commitment to one another is also going to help the relationship to grow. And again, all of these things, the calm, the trust, the commitment, have got to sit on a foundation of that 5-to-1 positive negative ratio. They found that couples who didn't succeed, who often ended up divorced, couples who were struggling, couples who were in distress, didn't have a terrible ratio. It was a little less than 1-to-1, about 0.8-to-1. So it was almost even, and you would think that would be okay, but the reality is we need a 5-to-1. So you need to nurture your relationship by intentionally being positive, intentionally cherishing, nurturing, spending that time together in the relationship. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask your partner and have your partner ask you these 3 questions about your relationship to evaluate how you're doing in calm, in trust, and in commitment. So question number 1 is this: what does trust look like to you? Number 2, how can we make each other feel safe? And number 3, what things make you confident that I am committed to you? Ask and answer those questions, and that will help you evaluate whether or not you have these 3 components creating the science of love in your relationship. And if you do, that's what will help you go the distance. If you don't, now you've got some areas to begin to work on and to focus in and to be intentional about. Hey, again, we'd love to help you out. If you need help in your relationship, if you're struggling to create an atmosphere where love can bloom, we'd love to walk alongside you. You can see all the areas below where we can resource you, whether it's a class or membership courses. We'd love to be part of your relationship journey. So don't hesitate to ask. You know what they say? Research has shown that most couples who are struggling wait 6 years to ask for help, which is crazy. The longer you wait, the further you got to get back out to get into a good place. So if you need some help, ask for it. We'd love to walk with you. Until next time, I'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.